Hi, it's June 10th, 2009. I'm going to talk today about name change. Name change for me was the first legal situation I really got into as far as transitioning is concerned. It was really important to me because different people, different things stand in your way. For me, my name was really standing in my way as far as transition is concerned. And so one of the first big things I knew I needed to do was to get my name changed, and that's the first thing I really needed to tackle. So it's a little bit of a harder thing too, because you're completely helpless. I mean, so many things can go wrong, everything from filling out paperwork wrong to not getting it granted, to just timing being completely off. Almost everything in the process can go wrong. So to me, and there's of course a definite right way and wrong way of doing it. So this is what I did. It's going to be different for everybody, but I feel like this is really important because to me this was one of the most important parts of the transition for me. So first thing I had to do was I had to find the forms. So I looked online for forms, and there's like a million different versions because there's one for each state. I think there was one for each county in my state, and and there was lists upon lists of these forms. So what I did is I found a website. It's called namechangelaw.com. I'll put a link to the side. And they have a free where you just put in your information and it gives you some information. I actually paid $80 for them to fill out the forms for me. I gave them my information, and they also gave me a really detailed list of where to go, the address, the room number, everything, timing. I mean, they gave me a great, and it really gave me peace of mind. So I paid $80 for that, and it was fantastic. Actually, I'm pretty sure we paid the $40 one. I don't think we did the paralegal prepared, but I don't remember. It was either $40 for a basic one or $80 for the paralegal prepared. But either way, great website, and I think they have it for every state. So definitely a good website to check out. So, once I had all my forms filled out, I went down to the clerk's office down at the courthouse. I took my petition for a name change. I took my notice of petition for a name change, and which is almost the same thing. And I took a verification letter, which had to be notarized, so I went to my bank beforehand and had that notarized. They stamped that with their little cute stamp and charged me $80 for filing fees. So then I had to take a copy of those forms down to the paper where they got my information and published my petition for 4 weeks. Another $80 for publishing in the paper. That was kind of weird because of the timing of it, I had to skip the first week, so I ended up being a week behind starting off. And the people at the clerk's office, not that they didn't know what they were saying, but I got quite a bit of information that wasn't quite right. They told me that I would have to have the affidavit mailed to me. But I did talk to the people at the newspaper and asked them if I could just come pick it up, which worked out great. So after 4 weeks, I went back down to the paper, and I got my affidavit, which has has the little cutout of the newspaper article, and she had to notarize that, the girl down at the paper. So that was another $80 for all that. So I picked that up 4 weeks later, took it down to the court's office, where they told me I actually wouldn't even need to see the judge because he would just grant it or not, and I would receive something in the letter saying what he did. That was wrong. I got a letter in the paper, in the mail, and that said I had a scheduled hearing, so I had to get time off from work that I didn't expect. Here's the letter, and of course, name change of petitioner. They didn't charge me anything for this letter. That was nice.
That was like, what, 3 weeks later, right?
That was
way later than
way later. I was really thinking that this whole thing would take 6 weeks. It was way later than I thought it was, and I had already moved, living 100% male with this horrible name that was tying me down. So, great.
People didn't believe it was your name.
Yeah, people didn't believe it was my name. When I found out I had to go to court date, I, of course, went to court on my court date. There was a attire. Of course, you want to dress long sleeves, tie, slacks, and nice shoes. You don't want to wear short sleeves or wear anything casual. You want to look professional for this. So I went in and talked to the judge. I thought it was going to be a simple, do you want your name changed? Are you really who you say you are? Yes, I'm who I say I am. And that was it. Turns out it was a little more complicated than that. He actually brought up everything. And so he asked me what my timeline for surgery was. He said this was a difficult situation, which I had to tell him that I might be planning a surgery later this year, but other surgeries will be waiting longer. He asked me why my name change was where it was in my timeline, which I thought was kind of interesting. I do notice a lot of people don't legally change their name until pretty late. Again, for me, this was the most important thing.
And you changed your whole name.
And I changed my entire name, which he also brought up. He asked me why I was changing my surname as well. But for me, this was, one of the most important steps. Testosterone helped me with my voice, which was a huge obstacle, but my name was standing in my way. And really making me miserable. So, he asked me about that, and I also explained, how my name was getting in my way, why I really wanted it done. The way he talked about the whole thing, he didn't seem like he was going to grant it, but, and he asked me about my debts, and, my job status, and that kind of thing. But in the end, he granted my petition, which is fantastic. And he is mailing me an uncertified copy, but I got a final decree, which is here, saying that ordering for my name to be changed. And I also got this cute little thing here, which has this beautiful seal down at the bottom. Richmond County actually has the Moses tablets for the 10 Commandments for their seal. Great separation of church and state there. But I took a picture with it outside the courthouse. I'm super excited about having it. Certified copies were $3 a piece, so I ended up paying $15 for that.
Oh, it was $50 to go to court.
And I had to pay $43.32 because of the lady that was there doing the stenographer. I had to pay $43.32.
So she could type what you said.
No, actually she talked into this little mic. She didn't type it. And she had a little computer, and it just did everything for her, I guess. So that is $298.32 total that I spent on my name change. That's not too bad. I mean,
Testosterone's cheaper.
Testosterone's cheaper, yes, but over my whole period of my life, no, it's not. What else? It's really important. I want to talk a little bit about timing, because again, the timing was completely off. There are time limits, so keep that in mind. Look at your state laws, see what your time limits are for doing certain things. But other than that, that's pretty much what I did to get my name changed. And if you're looking at the same thing, yay, I'm so excited. Awesome. And if you're looking at doing the same thing, feel free to message me or comment if you have any questions. Thanks, bye.